Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk about a concept and it's a concept of time. I'd like to explore the way we think about time. In the 3D reality that we're currently all still living in, time is considered linear. You're born, you live, you die. Past lives are somewhere down this way, future existences are off that way, and it's seen as a, that's it, that's the scope of time. But actually, as we move more and more into 5D, then time, you're going to see it in a different way. The way that they teach it in 5D, time is all happening now. It doesn't exist. The higher up the vibrations go, when you look into what's happening down here, time is a way to conceptualize it a little bit, to categorize it, but it's meaningless in the higher vibrations. They don't have that concept, and it's not how things work up there. Now, this can be very mind-boggling to a newbie, and I'm talking about it here to start introducing the idea that time may not be as we've been taught it. And you know, I can imagine all the things your brain gets instantly, you go cross-eyed thinking, I don't understand how that can be. Well, if you think about, it's like, when I do my journeyings, I can be instantly somewhere else. I can take my consciousness instantly with a thought to some other place, some other time, some other galaxy. I can be some other person in my imagination. Let's put it that way. In your imagination, in your mind, you can instantly put yourself wherever you can conceive, and that in essence is the way the way things are. We need these parameters to sort of function in this world, but they don't exist. When you access a memory, you might in fact be accessing the actual event. There's nothing to say that what we're remembering is a sort of faded echo image photograph of an event that took place. When we access our memories, we may be in fact linking with that moment of now when that event happened. I was watching a movie just the other night, made me decide to make this video. Shirley Valentine. It's just probably what people would call a chick flick. I love that movie. It's so colourful and passionate and evocative, and you just step right into the world of Greece and the oceans and the Mediterranean and that lifestyle that's very different to what you have here in England, where I am at the moment, and it feels very grey and very tough and very Victorian sometimes, and you need a bit of that escapism. And I did actually once go to one of the islands of Greece many years ago, and it was a wonderful holiday. And when I was watching the movie, I thought, gosh, it'd be wonderful to be back there at that time, enjoying that holiday. And my mind instantly took me to the memories of that, and I began to wonder if in fact I was there. I wasn't just remembering something, I was in fact there in my consciousness, back in those experiences in that period of time. And it's possible I was. I sort of do believe that to be true. I think that we can dip in and out. I've done a number of past life regressions. I am going to be recording a video with a couple of my own experiences and one of my family members' experiences that are very vivid, and even to this day, having done them possibly a decade ago or longer, I can remember powerfully the feel of those people I can remember how it feels to be that other person. I can remember the situation I was in, if it was hot, if it was cold, you know, if it was early, if it was late. I can remember it. I can feel it. I can walk in those shoes in every sense of the word. And I do think that when we have past life regressions, we are just really moving our consciousness back into another life, which is also happening right now. It's a funny way to a twist to how we look at life. Now, this might be, you know, you might say, no, that I don't agree with you. I don't see how that can work. But if you can imagine you're watching a movie on Netflix, and there's a scene you really like, so you zip back to it with your remote. You just fast forward backwards, and you're watching that old scene in the now. It's as real as it was when you watched it in real time, but you went back and watched it again a second time, a third, a fourth, however often. Or, you know, you can find a boring bit of a film that you don't enjoy, or a gory bit or something, and you fast forward past that to, you know, the end of the movie, or some scene that you find, you know, very inspirational. And that's again happening now. It was the future. It was maybe half an hour down the movie, but you've made it now. And I think if you can kind of overlay that onto how we view time here, we are living each moment in the now, but we have the ability to just step outside that eternal now and go to a previous now, or future now, or a past life now, or a, you know, previous existence elsewhere now. I think time, you know, it's going to be something we really change our idea about how it works. I just wanted to make this video because I feel it's quite a powerful idea that you can play about with your reality, and you can take yourself to times and places. It's like when we're trying to maybe correct things that have happened in our past, you can go back into that time and you can replay a scene in a different way. You can play it out. You can talk to a younger self. You can have healing in that time that will ripple through and affect you in what is now. Definitely things that we can go from previous lives and our younger selves. If we can resolve issues with who we were back then and the situations we were facing, then it will impact us right here in this version of now. I know that this, and I can hear myself talking, and I know it seems a bit wacky, but you know, this channel's all about living in 5D and walking the 5D path. And when we get fully into 5D, there is no time. It's just not a factor. Nothing. We're not limited by time in any way. And it'll be fun. I'm just planting the seed of that idea and how it could work with the fast forward video thing, or with the stepping into a memory or a past life, and it actually being taking our consciousness from this version of us and placing it into that version of us and experiencing life from that vantage point, that viewpoint. For instance, in one of my past lives, I was an extremely fit, healthy, young man. And I can remember having not an ounce of fat on my body. I was just solid muscle. Had these real, was almost mahogany arms. I was so much in the sun, and how it felt to be bigger in my physicality and stronger and fitter and healthier. And then you open your eyes and you're in this body of a slightly worn out, slightly older, middle-aged female who's not fit and healthy, who's, doesn't have as much muscle as I'd like compared to much fat is there. But I don't judge myself as much, because I think that was me and this is me this time. You know, I'm experiencing things, all the things. It would be no fun to play out your lives continually in the same form with the same advantages and disadvantages. So, you know, it just starts to, you know, when you start thinking this way, you can really shake up your mind and dust off old concepts about who you are and this life that you're living in this minute. It sort of pulls you back out of it and above it, and you can look down upon it with a more balanced viewpoint rather than being in the thick of it and being so boundaried by your body, your life, the limitations that you have right now. You don't have these limitations. These are also a 3D concept, and I am going to be speaking about that in another video, about how manifestation is going to be more instant in the 5D world. And, you know, if you want to be taller or thinner or, you know, anything, different coloured, whatever you want, you're going to be able to do it, you know, with the intention and the thought for that's just going to happen so much more rapidly, that we won't get stuck in these ruts that we're in this lifetime. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope that it's just gave you some food for thought, and you can maybe practice by stepping into a memory or two and considering that you are in fact there. You're not in a memory, you're in that place. Or you know, you try out some ideas, taking yourself to somewhere you see in a postcard and being there instead of here, because you know, you could be, that could be you in the future. I have a beautiful future in my mind's eye, and I go there often, and I enjoy that life that's coming for me, as opposed to sometimes this life when it's a wee bit tough and challenging. Right, that's my front door. I have to go. God bless. Speak soon.